Hi, we're going to do a short movement practice today on the reformer. I have my foot bar set up in the highest setting. That's how I like to do my footwork. And I have 3 heavy springs and 1 medium spring. But you can set up however you'd like, how you normally do your footwork. So I'm going to lie down. Let's lie down on our backs here and just take a moment to feel settled and centered in the center of the reformer. And from here, we're just going to press the legs out to straight. As you press your legs out to straight, start to walk your feet a little bit up and down the foot bar to get a massage through the soles of the feet. And while you do that, start to deepen your breath and really allow the back of the head, the back of the heart, and the back of the pelvis to stay nice and heavy and restful down into the mat. We'll eventually make our way to have the heels be under the foot bar, drawing down and under, and the feet and legs are parallel to the hips. Gently draw your chin down towards your chest and turn the palms up towards the sky, a gesture to receive. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths here, lengthening out of the crown of the head, letting the heels sink down. And with each exhale, allow the back of the head, the back of the heart, and the pelvis to sink down into your skin of the back and into the reformer. Just taking this moment to be grateful that you're prioritizing your mental and physical well-being, even if you don't have a lot of time. Keep the palms up if you can, and walk the heels back onto the foot bar, into that parallel position, and bend your knees to bring the carriage in. We'll exhale to lengthen out and inhale to pull in. Moving through this motion of opening through the front of the hip and then closing through the front of the hip. Sensing that you can engage the backs of the thighs. For me, I can do that when I think about dragging my heels gently down the foot bar, even though they don't move. I like to feel that engagement through the backs of the legs. And then the next time that you bring the carriage in, just come onto the toes, lift the heels, press the carriage out. Sense where your heels are in space and that your ankles aren't splaying out to the sides. And then try to keep your heels in that same position as you bring the carriage in. We'll exhale to press out and inhale to pull in. The chest stays nice and broad. Notice how the back of the neck is also nice and long. Pressing into those big toe mounds so that the inner thighs stay engaged. Find that nice rhythm with your breath so that the movement links with the breath. And that's going to change day to day, moment to moment. The next time that the carriage comes all the way in, you'll pause and just separate the knees a little bit, separate the toes so that the heels stay together, and we press out into that Pilates V. So we're on the toes, pulling in and out, moving, feeling the heels draw closer in towards to each other as you bring the carriage back home. Let the jaw release, and finding that both movements are effortful. The lengthening out through the hips as you straighten the legs, and also as you resist against the spring to bring the carriage back in. Next time that you press your legs out to straight, we'll just pause there and pivot the heels into parallel so you're now onto your toes. Lower the heels and lift, and lower and lift, working on how much can you draw the heels down and under the foot bar. So full range of motion, as much as you can lift and as much as you can control and lengthen the heels down. We'll go for 2 more. Notice your breath. And then the heels will lift. We move into prancing, lifting and lowering the heel, working through the foot. Sometimes it may feel good to move your head a little bit side to side as you do this. Letting the jaw release, chest stay open. Pelvis stay stable as we move through the foot. And then we'll just pause, get stretch on bringing the heel down under the foot bar and bending that knee of that leg so the stretch moves lower towards the Achilles. And then we'll switch, bringing the other heel under. Bring both heels under and then draw the carriage all the way back in. So we'll just scooch down a little bit so we don't feel like we're so cramped up against the shoulder rest. And then reach your arms out to a T position so you can grab a hold of the shoulder rest or the poles where the straps are. You can have your feet on the foot bar or bring them up to a tabletop position. We're going to inhale, start to lift out of the left hip a little bit to send the knees over towards the right. Keeping the shoulders down, and exhale, we draw back to center. So inhale over, lengthen out of that right hip, and exhale, sense how the ribs come back to center first, then the pelvis and legs. Inhaling over, and big exhale to glue the legs together to come to center. Inhale over, and exhale, coming back to center. Let's bring one foot down at a time onto the foot bar. If your headrest is up, bring it down for bridging. Arms reach down. You can even hold to the back, the bottom of the carriage there to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to roll up through the spine as you inhale and exhale, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Take an inhale at the bottom, let everything settle. And as you exhale, start to push down into the feet, curling the tailbone up through the sky. Delay the action of the ribs as if the ribs don't want to peel off, and then balance yourself on that area of the back of the shoulders. Inhaling there and then exhale and roll down. So we'll just do a few more of this bridge, really prioritizing that segmental movement through the spine. Feeling that the backs of the legs stabilize us so that we can move bone by bone through the spine. We'll just do one more here. Rolling up, tailbone stays curling up to the sky. Not wanting to feel like we arch the back here, but we're still keeping that pubic bone curling towards the chest as we roll all the way down. From here, bring your knees into your chest, give them a nice squeeze. Hands are behind the thighs, start to push the legs away. My hair just got caught in the headrest. Push your legs away, send your low back down and feel like you're hanging off of your strong legs here, sinking the low back down into the mat, and then inhale to pull your knees back into your chest. Exhale and inhale. If it feels okay, you can start to use a little bit more momentum to rock yourself up and eventually come up into a seated position to do a spring change. I'm going to 2 red springs or 2 heavy springs. You could also do 1 heavy and 1 medium spring. And then we're going to scooch the bum all the way to the edge of the reformer so you can roll back and down. If you want your headrest up, you can bring it up at this point. Bring your hands into the short or the long loops. Arms lift up towards the ceiling, legs and tabletop, and just take a check there that the ribs can melt back and down. So that might mean that you need to bring your knees in a little bit, and you might need to bring your toes, lift them up a little bit. So we're going to reach through the pinky side of the hand as we straighten the arms long, and notice how the shoulders pull down and away from the shoulder rest. We're going to keep that reach through the fingers, especially that pinky side, as we bring the arms back up, and we notice the shoulders are still down away from the shoulder rest, really broad through the chest. Exhale and reach, and inhale and up, and exhale and inhale. and exhale. And inhale. You could also reach one leg long over that foot bar as the arms reach down towards the hips to add a little abdominal challenge. You could also reach both legs long. We're going to do 2 more here, finding a variation that feels good for you. Ribs melt down, and this is the last one. Good. Arms come up, legs back in tabletop. Arms reach down towards the hips, open them out to the T position. Pause, the carriage is still, the shoulders are away from the shoulder rest, and the arms come right up. Exhale down, and out, and up, and down, and out, and up. Last one, and down, and out, and up. We reverse now, arms out. We pull into the hips. The pinky side of the hand pulls in, and then up, out. Shift the palms so the pinky side comes in, so you're open through the collarbones as you come in. And last one. Arms come up towards the ceiling and take a quick pause. As you exhale, sink the rib cage down, curl the head, neck, and chest up as you reach your arms long, collarbones broad, and then control and melt your way down. As you exhale, we'll reach and inhale and lower down. As you exhale, reach. You could also reach your legs long here, as long as you feel like the low back and ribs can stay down. Exhale and reach. This is our last one. Curl up, stay here, bend one knee into your chest, the other leg reaches long over the foot bar, and switch, and switch. If this hurts your neck, just bring your head down. You could do this whole thing with your head down. The most important thing is the hands reaching actively towards the foot bar. Lengthen the legs as you pull the other knee in from your low belly for 3 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. Bend the knees, curl up a little higher, and then lower yourself back down. Press your legs out to straight so we can bring your feet into the straps. And we'll start in a frog position. Press the straps away from you a little bit so you can sense that your pelvis stays heavy on the mat. I have my hands spanning across my abdomen, ribcage, and pelvis so I can sense what's going on with my breath. Start to engage the outer hips first and then push the legs away as you exhale, and then inhale, draw in. We're exhaling through the back of the throat. Your mouth could be closed or open, but really feel like you can exhale all the way out each time. And 2, really engaging the backs of the thighs first before you move the legs. And last 1. Legs reach out towards the foot bar and you're turned out, your thighs are turned out. We're gonna open the legs out and then use that exhale to draw the legs all the way back in. Heels draw in together. Inhale to open. And start your exhale from the upper inner thighs. Pull the legs in. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. So I'm imagining that I'm in a pool underwater and my toes are grazing the surface of the water as I bring my legs out to the sides and they kind of come in towards me. And then I retrace that same circle, that same line to come back in. So it's that precision that gets the deep muscles working. And the breath. Once the legs come back in, we'll lift the legs up towards the ceiling and sense how your pelvis stays grounded. Open the legs out to the side and then exhale, circle the legs down together and up and out. Trying to smooth out your circle as if your legs were moving as mirror images of each other. Feeling the length of the torso and keeping that connection between the rib cage and the pelvis. Next time the legs are in that vertical position, pelvis is grounded, connect to the back of the thighs and push your legs down through the center, circle out, around, and up. Engage the backs of the thighs first, then lengthen the legs down, circle out, around, and up. I like to connect the legs at the top to punctuate that drawing into the midline, the center body, each time. This is the last one. Good. And then you can just bend your knees, taking the straps off, bringing the feet down onto the foot bar here. Hang up those straps and then just roll off onto your side to come up. We're going down to one spring, one heavy spring here. And find a position that you can take facing the foot bar. You can do this crisscross. You could also do it in a high kneeling position. So you can choose and change as you return to this movement practice. I'm going to do crisscross today, and I'm going to take the straps and lasso them around the elbow here. From here, I want to feel my pelvis grounded and my ribs directly over the pelvis. My palms are open and they're facing my face. As I exhale, I open the elbows out and spiral the palms away. And then inhale, come back to that position with the fingers spread, face looking at your face. We're going to exhale to open and inhale to close. As you exhale and open, push your knees down. Push them down and see if that fires up your core. All parts, the cylinder of your core, not just the front, but the back and all around to the sides. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. Exhale to open. Press your knees down so that the ribs stay over the hips. We're not trying to not thrust the ribs forward. One thing I see a lot here in students is that they have their elbows too high and they end up doing this with their neck or their trapezius muscles. We actually want to focus on the bottom, the area in between the shoulder blades towards the bottom of that. So if you just lower your elbows a bit, you may be able to access that area. This time the elbows will stay open and draw down through your pelvis. Lift the sternum up as you lift the throat up and press your elbows back. We're trying to stretch the front of the sternum up to the throat, the bottom of the sternum back and down to the belly button. And we breathe here, open the chest for 3 and 2 and 1 and release. Just take the straps into your hands now, press the straps. Reach long through your hands, open through your collarbones, and reach down through the fingertips. Remember to press your ribs down as well. We're going to look towards the left. Carriage stays still. Look towards the right. Come back to center. And just bring the hands to directly behind the knees. It's not a big range of motion. Exhale, reach down through the fingertips, down through the knees. Look towards the right. Look towards the left. Come back to center and release. We're just going to do 2 more of those. Chest expansion. So open the collarbones first before you move. Look one direction. Look the other direction, center, and release. Last one. Arms reach down and back. Knees press down. Fingertips reach down. Reach them down. Look one direction and the other direction. Center. I just want you to reach the arms back a little bit more. Hold it here. Press down through the fingers, down through the pelvis. Reach up through the crown of the head, and you're breathing. And release. Nice job. Hang up those straps. And bring your spring, change your spring so you're doing 1 medium spring and take off the heavy spring. So you're on 1 medium spring. Go ahead and come to a kneeling position with the knees almost touching the shoulder rest, but not quite. Hands come forward. And as your hands come forward in front of your shoulders, then pitch your whole body forward here so that the fronts of the thighs are touching. Press out through your hands. Imagine you have a broomstick on your back, the back of the head, the back of the heart, and the sacrum are all touching that broomstick. So really long, flat back. Curl your tailbone down and pull your knees in towards your hands and control as you release. We're gonna exhale, pull it in and release, and pull it in and release, and pull. So we're trying to feel like the pelvis is the handle of the spine here, trying to draw the pelvis down and under, pressing out through the hands to keep the collarbones open. And last one. And release. Ooh, nice job there. Go ahead and find a mermaid sit here. And bring one hand onto the headrest, the foot bar. The other hand reaches up and over. Reach up and over, keeping your back hip down. Rotate towards the foot bar. Carriage stays still. Reach up and over and lift the spine up to bring the carriage all the way in. So we're trying to keep this back hip down. Inhale, reach up and over. Shoulder down away from the ears. Exhale, rotate. Carriage stays still. Inhale. And exhale to come back in. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, rotate. Walk the hands a little further apart so you can lengthen the carriage out. Press into the pinky side of the hands. Reach the chest forward and up. Draw the shoulder blades really broad and lift through the heart. Press down to lift up. We'll do that one more time. Pressing out. Lengthen the spine. Shoulders stay broad. And rolling all the way up. Good. From here, we'll just turn around to the other side. One leg is back towards the shoulder rest and the other heel comes in towards your pubic bone. Take a moment to fidget, to feel like you can set the pelvis down. One hand's on the foot bar, reach up and over, arcing up through the rib cage, and then lift the spine to bring the carriage all the way back in. So we inhale. Oh, let's do that rotation. Exhale, rotate, keeping the back hip down if you can, even if you have to bring the carriage in more. Inhale to come back to your side bend, and exhale to lift up. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale to rotate all the air out, squeeze all the air out. Inhale to come into your side bend, and exhale to lift up. Inhale, get long, arc the ribs over. Exhale, rotate. This time we'll walk the hands a little further apart. Let your back hip lift so you can stretch the spine by pressing that back leg into the shoulder rest. Looking down here, long neck. Start to press into the pinky side of the hands. Draw the shoulders broad down the back. Press down to lift the chest forward and up. And we press out. Last one here. Use this to really press down through the hands, broaden the shoulders, and lift the heart up, 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 up. Nice job. Just come to the side of your reformer there. To come off, bring one foot about at the height of the foot bar, the other toes tuck forward and under, letting that knee come down, and press the carriage out. Press the carriage out there so you can let the hips sink down and get that nice stretch. And then bring the carriage all the way in. Other side, walking over. Find your foot right by the foot bar. Tuck your toes forward and under. Let the hips sink down, pressing down through that foot. Nice deep breath here. You did great. Nice job. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.